Welcome to Path of Exile. I'm Tidier and I'll be showing you my tips and tricks that I use to get a little more value in my resources in this game. This one is about crafting. I'd like to call it using Psuedo-Scours and Blessed Orbs. Using this method, I'm going to use the help of a vendor recipe to act like I'm using a Scour or a Blessed Orb without using one, thus saving me money. The recipe will turn our items into magic and will re-roll any variable implicit rolls on the weapon. This recipe only works for weapons, it doesn't work for armors because it is a weapon recipe. Normally these recipes are done to add increased physical damage or spell damage to the items whilst turning the item blue, but we don't really care about those. It's just that the recipe will turn our items blue and re-roll the implicit rolls of any variable implicit rolls on the weapons. So right here I've got an ambusher and a harbinger bow, and I've got 2 rustic sashes, 2 chain belts, and some whetstones. So we don't have to use this blessed orb to fix this harbinger bow, and we don't have to use a scour to reset this ambusher in order to craft it. Instead, what I'm going to do is sell the ambusher with the whetstone and the chain belt, and she'll give me back a blue ambusher. This allows us to use our alteration orbs on the ambush again in order to craft. Now here I've got a harbinger bow with 46% increased critical chance implicit. Let's say I wanted a bit more. I can use this recipe and it'll give us a blue harbinger bow back with a random critical chance roll that is shown to us. Now I don't have to use blessed orbs to reset this harbinger bow. However, if I use a different rustic sash, it'll give us the same crit chance. So you have to do this recipe multiple times in order to get the implicit roll you want. See, now it's changed to 40. So you have to do this multiple times to get the implicit roll you want, and you can't use a different rustic sash. Also, keep in mind, because harbinger bows don't roll spell damage, it doesn't work with the chain belt. So in order to do the chain belt version of the recipe, the weapon needs to be able to roll spell damage.
Watch yourself.
I can still do the rustic sash recipe with the ambusher because all weapons roll increased physical damage. Keep in mind that if you roll that a nice implicit on your harbinger bow and you start crafting it, and then you want to reset it using this recipe, it'll change the implicit crit chance because you're doing the recipe to reset the harbinger bow. So you might want to weigh that up against doing the recipe multiple times to get the crit chance you want again, or just using a scouring to keep a nice crit chance. Maybe you're 50 or something, and to save you the trouble of having to do the recipe multiple times. So I hope you use this method to save some money in your crafting, and you can use those scourings and blessed orbs for something else you might need. Thank you.